Hey, hope everyone's doing well. Ralph here to share with you guys today just some information on key numbers that pop up in the NFL quite a bit. Um, I've been a probability analyst for 22 years, across numerous markets, crypto, equities, options with the Black-Scholes model, uh, sports market, which is an asset class just like any other one. Um, today I just wanted to go over some of the powerful numbers that occur frequently, okay? And mainly today, and hopefully this can give you guys a little bit of an edge, or at least learn something new that you didn't learn before. And I'm going to do lots more content like this, so be sure to subscribe and like and comment. If you're into gaining an edge, if you're into probability analysis, or maybe you don't have the time to do it yourself, but you want that statistical edge. I'm a I'm a data nut. You talk to some people that know me. I mean, I'll mull through data sets 12 hours a day, no problem. It's just I don't know. I find peace in it, and I really like finding the edge. I mean, that's really the whole point. I don't do the coding. The algorithmic side is handled by other people that work with the teammates. They put it together on the coding side. I can code a little bit though. Um, I like to put all these variables together and come up with some conclusions that may not be so obvious to other people without the data. And that's just kind of what I do. So let's get into some of these numbers. And basically today, what we're looking at here is the winning margins in NFL games, okay? And this data is courtesy of Ravi Parikh. And I'm going to put he's a beast. I can tell by some of the things he's put together. I'm going to put his link underneath the video here in the comments in the bio. Thanks, Robbie, for this data. I'm sharing it with the world here. So let's take a look here and see what we're talking about. NFL winning margins, okay? Point spreads. What's the spread? What's the spread? What does it mean? And so first of all, we can see the number 3 pops up more than any other number. We're talking about winning margins. And you know how that is. You needed them to win by 3.5. They won by 3. You already know. Anyway, 3 comes up a lot. Now, how often is a lot? Depends on which data set you use. I believe Robbie was using in this data set all football games from all time via Pro Football Reference. So if you look at the modern era, if you ask around, if you've been around the game a while, you'll know it's known to be about a 14% occurrence or so. If you go all time, it's more like 10 or 11, I think. Let's call it 14 for our intents and purposes here today. So that means you have a 14% chance of a winning margin being determined by 3 points. It's good to know, right? Second most frequent occurrence there is 7 points. So 7 is the second most frequent winning margin differential. And that happens about 10% of the time in the modern era. All right, so if you combine the two of them, that's 24%. So there's a 24% chance of the outcome of the game being decided by either 3 points or 7 points. 3 and 7. That's what we're talking about today. Now, if you've been around the game a while, you're probably like big deal, whatever. I mean, I know 3s and 7s come up a lot. Well, great. It's good to quantify it though. 24% of the time, final margin of victory is going to be 3 or 7. 24% of the time. That's 24 games out of 100. Okay. You do 10 games on a Sunday. You know what I'm saying? That should be at least 2.5, 2 to 3 games will be decided by 3 or 7. It's good to know. And there's ways that we're going to get into in the future to be able to use this to our advantage in spreads that are higher than 3, higher than 7. Say it's say it's a 9-point spread, and we think it might land on a 3, and there's ways to middle the 3, and there's ways in the books they don't want you to know how to do it, and today we just wanted to cover the frequency of occurrence, and that's what you guys can see very clearly here, to give you an idea of how to get a little bit of an edge. How do you get an edge? Please like and subscribe. I'm going to do a lot of content, a lot of experience to share on this stuff. And I got 22 years experience making markets. So now to put this into perspective, let's just apply this information or this data that we now know to last year's That's just playoffs. I mean, let's look at the divisional round last year and the Super Bowl. That's for 2021. You guys remember it? Okay. We had Cincy. We had the Bengals and Titans, 3-point margin. Niners, Packers, 3 points. Wow. Rams, Bucks, 3 points. These are the divisional rounds. Bills and Chiefs. Man, that game was that was a fucked up big game. The Bills got fucked up that game. But anyway, that was 6 points. You guys probably remember that game. Conference championships. Again, Bengals, Chiefs, 3 points. Niners, Rams, three. Forget about this silly Pro Bowl. And let's go right over the Super Bowl, a 3 point margin. Now, that's like a bookmaker's delight, all these threes, because, you know, we'll get into that in another time, but they, a lot of them look to middle of three. A lot of middle of three if you them. 6 out of 7 occurrences right there. 6 out of 7 on the three. Isn't that interesting? I think it's interesting. You should think it's interesting because there's edge in the threes and sevens. Guys, be sure to like and subscribe. Just subscribe because I'm going to go ahead and provide more data on NFL, on point spreads, on bell curves, on teaser bets, on parlays, on odds making, on line movement, all these different things that come into play. And what I'm good at is putting all these variables together to come up with a conclusion each week. And I'm starting to get fired up because the season is, about 3 or 4 weeks away right now. And I'm starting to get a little amped up about it. Although I leave my emotions out of it, it's really all about the data for me. Anyway, guys, until next time, be well. Be sure to like and subscribe. And this is Ralph, the best odds maker, book breaker in the Western Hemisphere. You guys have a great day. See you next time.